Oh, oh, I don't feel. Oh, I don't feel good. I'm bad. Oh, I really don't want to go home. And my roommate is so weird. Why does he look like that? Why does he scares me? He's not. Oh, he's not. He's not good. I wish I had a real house, like a big house. Fuck me. Fuck. Please. Let me in. Thank you. I just. I just don't feel good. I really just want to rest. I wish I had a real house and not a dorm I had to share with someone. It's just lame and it sucks that I hate it. But you know, it's what you gotta do. So I wish I had a big house with like pools and other things that one could find in cartoons or something. But I guess that's just how it's gonna be. Oh God, I hope he's not home. I really don't want him to be back. It's such a small room. Fuck. Hello. Fine. Okay. I guess we'll find out now how he is. If he's back at all.
Cartoons are a wonderful medium full of wonder, whimsy, and to epic random funnies. But there was a time where, in the past, in order to watch cartoons, you needed cable, actual TV, satellite, and these things weren't expensive. You couldn't just pull up a video on the internet. I mean, you could, but it wasn't that good. So you were kind of stuck with what you had. If you had these things though, channels like Nicktoons and Cartoon Network were just hubs of animated content for rad tweens and little baby boys. Now go on an image quest with me. Don't even open your eyes. Just go on an image quest with me. Where are you? Are you in an apartment? A house? On a couch? What are you doing? In this image quest, I'm going to tell you what you're doing, and you're sitting in front of a TV, flipping through the channels, wondering what things you're going to see. You think to yourself as you look around your home. You think to yourself as you look around your home. You think, wow, my house kind of sucks, and it's not as cool as these houses in this show. Yeah. If you related to what I said and you went on this image quest with me, then we should be in the same time, space, and mind frame for this video. If not, call fucking JG Wentworth 877 Cash Now, get a mortgage insurance annuity 401k plan because you have the imagination of someone who is a 60-year-old Republican boomer who listens to Greta Van Fleet. Congratulations, you're that. Sorry. This video is about cartoon houses. Because there's a million cartoons with houses in them, I'm just going to talk about the ones that are my favorites and the ones that I like the most, because we could be here literally all day, and I don't like filming because I'm very self-conscious. Cartoon homes come in all shapes and sizes. You can get a 5-floor house, you can get a 3-wall house, literally anything. It's a cartoon, nothing is real. So in order to kind of talk about these houses effectively, we're going to rate them on 3 key factors: location, safety, and residence. We'll begin with one of my personal favorites, the Bag Farmhouse from Courage the Cowardly Dog. The Bag Farmhouse is just a 2-story place. They have a basement and a living room and an attic. I don't know what counts as stories, but they have those, with about 4 inhabitants. You have Courage, Eustace, Muriel, and I'm gonna count the computer who's upstairs because he's sentient and he hates his life and he's mean, like a real roommate. This house is in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere. In some episodes, the family does go to town, but it's not often enough to think that town is 10 or 20 minutes away. I'm assuming it's an hour-and-a-half drive. They live right next to a road, but other than that, it's just flat land. Literally the only guy who drives on this road is an asshole with big feet who says, "Watch where you're going, you fool." Who, I don't know if it's racist or not looking back, the jury's still out on that one, We'll figure it out. For location, I'm giving this place a 2 out of 5. The inhabitants of the house will really sell it though. Eustace is a big asshole old man, but he does have a heart of gold and he cares for Courage and Muriel. More so Muriel than Courage. He just has mommy issues. He's kind of a mess. What can you do? Muriel is like the sweetest old woman I've ever seen in my life. She's like cool as hell. She plays a sitar. She's makes some more macaroni. The computer is literally self-sufficient, so I would count it as a resident, like I said earlier. It talks, it goes, you twit. And it's just, that's all it is. I think there's an episode where Courage goes inside it, or it's sick or something. I don't know. And finally, you have the main character of the show, Courage, the dog who is a coward. Although he's not a coward, he's actually very brave. He just has an initial, like, cowardice. He's a dog, which is a huge plus. He makes funny noises, he talks sometimes, and he's loyal as shit. What more can you ask for? Resident score is 5 out of 5. Unfortunately, in terms of safety, this house is pretty fucking terrible. They're constantly visited by, like, creepy shit. Muriel's nephew, a ghost from space, a chicken from space, squids from space. There's a windmill in the back with ancient runic symbols that if it stops spinning, it summons like skeleton warriors, which that's kind of whack. Yeah. Safety score is a 1 out of 5. My final score for the Courage the Cowardly Doghouse is a 3.75 out of 5. Next up, we've got the treehouse from Kids Next Door. This shit big. As opposed to the Bag farmhouse, it's literally in the middle of a suburb, so it's a very safe location. The only thing that could go wrong is the friends that you had growing up will stay in the suburb and you'll feel depressed whenever you talk to them because they haven't changed and you have. But yeah, I don't think there's any crimes. The place is pretty safe. It's pretty idyllic. 3 out of 5. Alright, now the inhabitant score is where it can get a little controversial. Do you really want to live in a treehouse with 5 children? Like, do you realistically? Even though if, like, rent is cheap and it's very large and there's a lot of rooms, like, do you really? I know they don't clean the bathrooms. That shit's whack. There's a whole villain called the Toilinator who's all about the bathrooms. So they're naturally opposed to them. It's not good. You would leave food out for, like, 2 seconds and it would just be gone. Like, someone would take it. It would just be... It'd be a chaos disaster mess. I would not want to live there. Bad. Resident score is a 2 out of 5 because at least they would be kind of entertaining when you're in the mood. When it comes to safety, I would argue that it's actually incredibly safe. Like, yeah, there's like 200 OSHA violations in one room, but these kids have devised all these contraptions to, like, save you when the villains come, and you will be okay because you can't make mustard and planks into a gun that shoots mustard. Even though there's like random ledges and drops and everything and jets hanging from the ceiling, these kids have not been hurt once. Like, because of their home that I can remember. They probably have, don't quote me on that. But they've remained safe for years in this house without sustaining any major injuries. So I think you'll be fine. Chill out. Safety score, I'll actually give 5 out of 5. My final score for the Kids Next Door treehouse score, treehouse door, is 3.5 out of 5. Hey you, come swim with me. Let's go under the ocean, into a new place. It's SpongeBob SquarePants SpongeBob Pineapple House. Yes! SpongeBob SquarePants Pineapple House. It's a good line. I wrote it. You would die if you lived here, you idiot. You fucking buffoon. You Nimrod. You nincompoop. You bad person. With smooth brain, no creases. It's under the water. The pressure would crush you. You would drown. You can't breathe. You can't talk to fish. Pineapple too big, too small for you. You're dumb if you think you could live here realistically. And you're not Sandy Cheeks. That's bad. You can't just live in her little dome, because that's also too small for you. Grow up. Location score is a 0 out of 5. This house has the smallest number of residents we've seen so far. I mean, I think you'll be fine, honestly. It seems pretty nice. SpongeBob is an epic little yellow sponge with holes in him, and he's good. And Gary is just a cat. He's like a snail, but he is a cat. That's like his whole thing. The good part about living with SpongeBob is that he'll be away most of the day at work, so you'll just have to deal with Gary, and Gary just kind of chills out. He sits on SpongeBob's lap sometimes, so like he'll probably do it to you once he warms up to you. I really don't think there's a downside to this. Resident score is 4.5 out of 5. Because SpongeBob would wake you up early in the morning, and that'd be kind of annoying. With the exception of being at the bottom of the goddamn, this place is pretty nice. You have Squidward, who's like, if you don't bother him, he's not gonna bother you. He's just constantly being bothered by other people, and at least it would be entertaining to watch. You have the Krusty Krab nearby. You have all of Bikini Bottom nearby. You have Patrick right next to you. It's not a bad deal. It's really not. I'll give this a safety score of 4 out of 5. My final score for the SpongeBob house is 3 out of 5 because you really just die. You would straight up die down there. But if you didn't die, it'd be chill. So that's why I'm doing that. To be honest, I'm not really sure how many cartoon houses I want to rank in this much detail. So we're going to do a quick little like speed round of 1 to 2 sentence descriptions of these houses. Does that sound good with you? Cool. Dexter's house would not be fun because Dee Dee always spoiling his fun little plans, but Dexter's mom thick. Rugrats' house would be alright even though there are a ton of babies because they're cute, and you also wouldn't have the responsibility of raising them, you just get to hang out with them, and the parents would clean up the poo-poo. Fairly Odd Parents' house would be fun. I mean, it's literally just a normal house like the kids next door, except like there's fairies, which would be cool, and you wouldn't have to deal with Vicky because you're an adult. You'd just have to deal with Butch Hartman, which is a little bit worse probably. Ed, Edd n Eddy house would be the most ideal if you were a kid, but also wouldn't be too bad if you were an adult, to be honest. You could just like literally buy a Jawbreaker, I think they're like $1, and you could control these children and make them do pretty much whatever you wanted in terms of building. Nothing bad. Fuck you, idiot. Teen Titan Tower would be cool if you had superpowers and you liked buildings in the shape of letters and you wanted everybody to know where you are at all times. Billy and Mandy house would be cool if you liked reggae music, Rastafarians, big noses, and you really just wanted to die, you were very depressed. That's all I've got for right now, but if there are some cartoon houses that I'm missing that you think are just essential and crucial to this discussion, then let me know. And I'll talk, we can talk about it, we can chat, we can have a conference.
Also, like and subscribe. Thank you. I don't know any good YouTube things yet. We're working on it. Bye.